in there? Yeah.
we should all be in there pretty good.
Yeah, it looks
All
good.
right. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Jackson's having a panic attack. Jackson's panicking before we even get started. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the first ever Shift Points podcast. This is a podcast that's going to be about anything and everything racing. You guys know me. I'm Jake Freeman. We do the Shift Points YouTube channel, and we've been working on that 55 Chevrolet truck. But we wanted to try something a little different this week, add to what we're doing with Shift Points, which is this podcast. I've been a racing fan forever. I mean, really, that was the whole reason that I went to engineering school, was because of racing. And while I didn't never go into it as a career, I still have kept up with it like a ton and watched basically every week. So that's me. So I'm Jake Freeman.
I'm Wynn.
I'm Jackson.
That's Jackson. Wynn and Jackson are two of my best friends. I've known both of them for a long time now. You came to Madison
sophomore year. Right.
So what, that's...
Oh, goodness. Well, it would have
12 years
been
ago?
2010?
Yeah, 10 or 11?
12, 13
So, yeah,
years.
12, 13 years we've known each other.
Right.
And then me and Jackson probably similar.
Probably
8 or 10 years we've been hanging out pretty consistently. We've known each
Right.
other for longer than
Yeah.
that, but probably 8 or 10 years of consistently hanging out.
Yeah.
So we were watching the Daytona 500. How this all came about, we were watching the Daytona 500. I'd had this idea to do this podcast, talk about racing for a while now. I didn't know who to do it with, to be honest. And we were sitting there watching the 500, and I said, what if we started a podcast about racing? And Wynn said, heck yeah. And Jackson kind of looked at us awkwardly, and then we said, Jackson, you're going to be on our podcast.
He had no choice.
He really didn't have a choice.
now we're here.
And now we're suddenly here. So the big reason why I wanted Jackson here is, while Jackson doesn't follow racing as much as maybe me and Wynn do, he's going to be our kind of neutral third party. He's going to ask questions that someone that maybe doesn't watch every race will ask, and we can kind of touch on points like that. Maybe sometimes it's good to have an eye that's not like so focused on the sport, and that's what I wanted him for. Now, the other part of that is that over the past few years, Jackson has also been has started to watch Formula One a lot more, and I've forced him into liking racing more than he probably ever expected he would. But anyway, so for our background, I wanted to go ahead, I'm going to turn it over to Wynn and let him give you a little bit of background on him. So Wynn, who are you?
You don't want to do Jackson first?
No, you're going first.
Okay. Well, I'm Asheville, born and raised. Moved out to Madison around 2010 or so. That's where I met these guys. Went to college at VMI, Virginia Military Institute, and have a bachelor degree in biology. And after that, did not use the degree yet, have not used it yet, but started a business, a small business, with another one of our good friends from high school. And I am in the seamless gutter industry, or we could call it rainwater systems if we want to sound a little more.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's superficial.
Yeah. I try to use that a lot. But, and that's, heck, that's just a short biography, I guess.
Good.
There's
why
not a whole
why
lot.
are you here? Like,
Why am I here?
Why do you want to talk about racing with us?
It's fun.
Okay. Are you doing anything that maybe you would like to mention in racing?
Oh, geez. Didn't think about that at all. Yeah, actually, I'm going to be a race car driver this year.
Are you?
Yep, I've never driven a race car.
Dale.
Another good friend.
Dale Haslam.
Well, we've become good friends, but we went to high school with another local guy, and for some reason he thought that I'd be a good person to go in with on a race car. It's a lower V8 series. It's nothing,
Renegade, right?
Renegade.
Name of the class.
Right, asphalt. So, and I've never driven a race car before. And I've never even turned a wrench, really. So this has been a huge learning curve for me. I've enjoyed it a lot. Nate's a good teacher, and his dad are good teachers. And, man, I tell you, it's been a lot of fun.
Good.
It really has been, and I look forward to getting in there.
And I get the spot for you, right?
Yes, I hope so. I sure hope so.
Your first race is?
It's kind of up in the air.
Okay.
Maybe the opener for Hickory, which is, I think, the 4th, this coming
this
weekend.
Saturday.
So
I
don't really see it happening. So I I think Hickory races again on the 11th.
I didn't see Renegade on the schedule.
Oh, really?
I didn't see it. I checked last
well,
night.
anyways,
that's the only reason I know it.
I guess it might be one of those Hickory races because Tri-County doesn't start until, I believe, April.
Oh, is it April? Okay.
I think so, man. I'd be honest with you, I don't really know. I've just been having such a good time building the car that I don't know. It's kind of up in the air.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we're going to be doing this every week, so you can keep us up.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. All right, Jackson. Who are you? Who is Jackson Boone? This is a question we've asked for literal years. Can you answer it for us?
No.
Okay.
We're supposed to just follow Wynn's.
I mean, if you want, do what you want.
I've already forgot what Wynn said.
You're your own man.
I already forgot what Wynn said. My
If only you had notebooks, you could like write
stuff down. Like
oh
these.
yeah, like these notebooks.
We have pretty awesome
No,
notebooks.
You're welcome.
I'm a native to Madison. Just kind of been around forever. Probably met Jake when I was in middle school.
Yeah, I probably met in middle school, but we started like actually knowing each other in probably my junior year.
Probably that was when I was around the ag side of stuff a little more.
Yeah,
and that's about the same time that I started getting to know Wynn too.
Yeah,
but
yep, that's true because like I said, he showed up sophomore year. Me and Wynn hung out a lot as soon as you came.
Oh yeah,
really, we
became
started
one of my best
right
friends
away.
very quickly. Yep. That's right.
Why are you here, Jackson?
Other
than me forcing you.
I was full-blown forced into this.
No, you were not.
I spent so much time around the two of you. It's like, this is happening. Here it is.
No, he
fully
wasn't.
forced. We said, Jackson, do you want to be in it? You looked at us like a deer in the headlights, and we said, all right, cool, we're going to order you a microphone.
Yeah, my
I wouldn't
fear,
say that's forcing you.
My fear of public speaking is just
exactly.
rolling
Jackson's
right back in.
Jackson's got a lot of potential. We just wanted to suck that potential out of him.
Oh yeah. Right.
I hate talking in front of people. This is
Good thing
not
there's
much
nobody
different.
watching.
There's no one here
right now.
Just that camera.
Not yet. In a year
It's
from
gonna
now,
go
there's going to be
deep.
hundreds of thousands of people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
Wynn's
ambitious.
very
I
optimistic.
appreciate that ambition. Wynn. I thought it was just me that thought like this.
No.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
All right. I like it. We're manifesting it now. So, I guess a little background on myself. I don't think I've ever actually talked about my background on the YouTube channel. Like, literally, we started making videos, and we went straight into building the truck. I've never given any sort of background at all.
That's true.
Jake Freeman, also born and raised in Madison County. I spent a lot of time in this shop that we're sitting in right now, which has turned into a really cool studio. I don't think you can actually see it on camera, but we've got some because the lights are blurring off the posters, but we got Smokey Unique's capsule car back here. We've got his supposed 7/8 Chevelle here in this one, and then we've got the classic Milner and Falfa race from American Graffiti up here. So we thought it would be a cool little studio. So anyway, I spent a lot of time in this shop growing up. Probably nowhere near as much as I probably should have. Spent a lot of time playing video games when I was a kid because I was a loser. And still am today. Things don't really change much. But like I said earlier, I decided to go to engineering school whenever I was in high school. I went to UNC Charlotte for mechanical engineering. And just because of racing. Literally, my brother-in-law was a race engineer at the time in NASCAR. I realized that, normal people could actually do this. And so I went to school for that. And like I said, never ended up actually working in the industry, but love it. Just love it. I love anything about racing. I just want to be involved in it. And I really think that this is the way to be involved in it, honestly. Yeah. Because what I would like to do, just for everyone that's sitting here, we've had discussions about it off camera and off mic. We would really like to turn this into kind of a short track deal, right? We want to bring in some of these guys that race around here, or some of the guys that maybe, just throwing out names, like Eugene Norton down there. He's me and Dad have helped Eugene some on his circle track program. I think he would be a blast to have in here. Anybody that doesn't know Eugene would. I think
Potbelly Stallion.
The Potbelly Stallion. He hasn't. Since he's been late models, I haven't heard him use that name since we come out of street stocks. We were doing the street stop stuff, and everybody, even when we went to Dillon and did that big New Year's Bash race, the announcers on the broadcast were like, "There's Eugene Norton, the Potbelly Stallion." And ever since then, I haven't heard it at all. He doesn't put it on the car or anything anymore. So, I don't know. I think he's upgraded. He's hot rodded us. He's got upgraded now, I guess.
What?
I don't know. So, but I'd love to have him on here. I would like to have Nate come on that's helping Wynn
Sure.
with the
That'd be
Renegade car. I
great.
think that'd
Yeah.
be fun too. But we're going to have topics each week. We want to talk about each kind of racing series, kind of dig into it, kind of give our opinions on kind of what's going on in the industry right now.
Yeah.
I personally don't think that at times a lot of these industries really listen to the kind of like everyday fan. I think you have to kind of be a Dale Jr. to get their ear, but that's okay. I mean, I think Dale does a great job. Don't get me wrong, but I think that guys like us have opinions on things, and it would be good to get those out there. And I think this is the best way I know how to get it out there.
I think so too.
So
yeah.
if we talk about, I mean, I don't imagine the FIA is going to listen to us. So I don't think we're going to get any rule
cool if
changes
they
in
did.
Formula One, but we'll try.
We will try.
We'll tell you how the Americans would do it, you European jerks. But anyway, so each week we're going to talk about each series, kind of go along like that. And, you know, this week is going to be a little bit open just because we're learning. We're just kind of figuring all this out.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit of a short episode. I don't know. We're probably going to run in that 30 minutes to an hour is kind of what I have in mind for each one of these. And we're going to put them up. I'm going to figure it out, but we're going to get them up on Spotify. And we'll be also putting them up on our YouTube channel. So that's why you guys on the camera can watch us there too. So we have like 240 subscribers. So think of it like, Jackson, that there's at least 240 people watching you right now. Don't get nervous. Oh no, he's leaving.
We're good right now.
Anyway, I think everything's good. So
I
you
think
guys
so.
happy? You introduced?
Yeah,
Should we
I think
actually
so.
kinda start-
I'm not nearly as up to date on this stuff as you. You're saying Jackson's the oddball one out. No, I'm not really on your level either.
I mean, come on. You watch it more than Jackson does.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Jackson watched the race with me last night and you didn't. So.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
I know that's
Something
true.
about family commitments.
Yeah,
you couldn't
Yeah,
get
something
away.
like that. But
Instead
I wanted
of
to
prepping
be
for
there.
a new podcast. Also, if you look at us, like you'd be like, those guys definitely have a podcast. Like if you saw us out, you'd be like, those guys, like we fit the bill to a T.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I know.
So I think I'm the oddball one out.
No, you're not the oddball. No, I think Wynn's gonna have some good stuff, and I think the cool thing is you getting in a car. That's gonna give us some input that neither one of us can ever give into it right now.
Ever?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Not ever.
I would love to get into a car one day. I've always
Absolutely.
wanted to, but
No,
let's see.
but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I
You
think
just
so
drive.
too.
You just drive Wynn's car.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be
No.
interesting because I have no
That's the other thing.
no
that's gonna be cool.
experience. You know,
Yeah, I love it. I just
like
think that's great.
I've put a tire on a race car.
Yeah.
And I've measured stagger before.
Yeah.
Never once have I been under the hood. And of course, I've never driven
If you're the
one.
driver, you don't have to.
So,
right?
yeah, well, right. Yeah, that's why they pay me the big bucks.
That's why they pay you the big bucks. Exactly.
$100 to win one of those Renegade races.
Hey,
So if you
$100.
win
I thought it was
5 or
50.
6
I thought it was
races,
50. Is it 100?
5 or 6
That's
races,
$500-$600.
You
no more
you
guttering
paid
for
a set
me.
of tires. You paid for one set of tires in 6 races if you win.
Oh,
What's
geez.
second place pay? $25?
I don't know if they get anything.
Oh, they don't get it. Oh, it's just to the winner. Oh no.
I don't know. I really don't.
Huh.
We're only going for the win, though, right?
Well, that's all that
We're not
really
going for
matters.
second.
Nobody knows who finished second, except for yesterday. Chase finished second yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
See, I didn't get to watch.
So hey, let's
All
dig
right.
into it. I mean, why not? I think that's a pretty good segue. So yesterday we raced NASCAR. We
Yeah.
raced. I love it when people say that, like about sports teams and stuff. Like you're like a Steelers fan.
Yeah, we did great.
We did great.
Yeah.
Or the other thing is great. It's only we if they did great. If they did bad, it's like that coach sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
What was that pick? What was the crew chief even thinking? I mean, he should have called 2 tires, not 4 tires. What a freaking idiot! But so yesterday, NASCAR Cup Series and the Xfinity Series raced at Fontana. It is the last time at Fontana. They have they announced this week. NASCAR announced this week that they had already sold a good chunk of this property, and it's happening. They're reconfiguring this track. There's rumors of it. I mean, from what we've heard so far, from what they've been told, it's going to be a short track, kind of like a Martinsville Bristol
Oh,
hybrid.
really?
That was the rendering they showed a year and a
wow.
half ago or something, maybe 2 years ago. So it's going to have like the long Martinsville straights, but like kind of the crazy banking of Bristol in the corners.
Really?
So I think it's going to be a mess.
Huh.
I mean, do you think that would be good? Do you think that's going to put on
I
a
mean,
good
I'm going to
race?
watch.
I mean, of course we're going to watch. That's not really a question. We know we're going to watch.
I don't know. It would be something different, wouldn't it?
I guess.
I mean,
So.
it'd be different than Dover. It sounds like.
Yeah.
If that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If that's what it ends up being, like I said, we don't really know what it's going to be. If you could build a, so the reason behind this, I mean, other than money, because mainly that property's worth a lot of money and they sold it, and that's why. But if you were, the reason that they kind of talk about doing this is building a short track on the West Coast. They want to bring Bristol to the West Coast, right? Mm-hmm. Theoretically. Is that going to work there, do you think? Do you think taking Bristol, if you could just like pick up everything at Bristol and drop it in the West Coast?
I don't even want to think about that.
Not me either. But
well, I mean, they did L.A. with the Autodome or whatever. So I mean,
did.
That's
a small track. Yeah.
And they really tried to cater to that.
Yeah, and the first time they raced there, it was packed out.
First time it was pretty packed out, but this year it was. I would say the percentages were quite a bit lower. That's just from what I saw on TV. You know how that stuff goes.
Even with Wiz Khalifa.
You see, those types of things I could do away with, just because I don't really care to see a halftime show during a race.
No, don't care anything about it.
That's just me.
Yeah, but I feel like there's so many more people like that. Like I've never had anybody say, "Did you catch?" I mean, which to be fair, there's only been 2 of them. But like, was anybody excited about Ice Cube last year?
See, I don't think so, and that's the problem. I think part of the big problem with NASCAR.
Where was Ice Cube?
He
was the halftime show at LA last year. Ice Cube was.
Yeah.
You weren't.
I don't remember
you didn't
that.
Watch it,
I don't remember that.
Did you? Did you watch it?
No, I watched it. I just don't remember Ice Cube.
Were you with us?
Must have suppressed that memory.
We watched it, right?
I don't remember.
I know we watched it.
I know I watched it.
But no, the answer to the question is no. I wasn't. I didn't hear anyone that was raving about that. And I don't think it matters who's on the stage playing.
So I mean, I know they're trying to kind of cater to the West Coast, but do we think that West Coast people actually care about that either?
I couldn't imagine as much so.
Right?
I just don't see how.
I wouldn't think so.
I don't think so either. I really don't.
I don't think so.
So, okay. All right. So, NASCAR, this is our first qualm. No more halftime shows. We don't need them.
No, we don't need them.
Especially,
they're not happy.
If they listen to this, I'll be amazed.
Oh, man, yeah.
They're like these three
maybe they'll do it in like 3
garage.
years after they've already completely changed the sport and turned it into
we're the
a
face
direction.
of NASCAR, the 3 of us.
Oh, wow. You think we're going to run NASCAR one day?
Yeah, totally. I think so.
It will not take much money for them to pay.
We do not have the right last name, to be fair. We need to be a France or I think Kennedy, right? King Kennedy or not Ken? What's his name? Ben Kennedy. Ben Kennedy is one of the France's grandsons. Remember?
I don't know. I'm not going to be.
He raced in the trucks. You know who I'm talking about, right?
I do know now.
That's him. He's a France's grandson.
Really?
He's the one who does the schedule now. Do you not know that?
I did not know that. I remember a Kennedy in the truck series.
He is partially responsible for setting the schedule. I mean, of course, there's a whole team of people, but he's kind of the guy that sets the schedule for NASCAR now. So, in some capacity, he's responsible for Bristol Dirt. Some capacity, he's responsible for whatever the Chicago road course looks like this year.
Oh, yeah, right.
LA Coliseum. He had his hand in that. So, I mean, I think he's probably doing all right, but...
yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry, I digress.
Yeah. Where were we?
So, we were talking about Fontana.
Okay,
does it work? If you could pick up Bristol and take it to the West Coast, would it work? As good as it does here?
No, it wouldn't work as good as it does here.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't think so either. Why? But why won't it do this?
It's the West Coast. That's why.
It's just the people are different. NASCAR is just southern and
NASCAR
inherently
is
southern sport.
It is.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
That doesn't have anything to do. Yeah.
Right. But
that's okay.
So why are we trying to? So they say that LA is NASCAR's biggest market. How? How is it the biggest market?
I'm right there.
That's something a marketing major must have come up with.
Supposedly that's the TV metrics. The TV metrics say that LA has the most people that watch a race at any time. Basically
just LA.
Race. Well, the LA region, that area, is supposedly the NASCAR's biggest market. I just have really hard time believing that.
I struggle with that too.
I do too. How many people are in that region? I know it's a lot.
LA region?
But
I don't know, Google it.
Well, Los Angeles County is huge.
LA population.
I still just don't see it though.
LA has 3.8 million people.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's
Madison
more
is
than
like
1%.
21,000, so that's
more than 1% of the
a
entire
lot.
population of the U.S. There's like 330 million people in the U.S. So like just
Still hard for me
more
to
than
believe,
1%.
but I don't know.
I just don't think they care. You remember when? I mean, I don't know. I mean, of course, we don't really remember it as far as that goes. But you remember people talking about Bristol when we were younger?
Oh yeah.
It was like
I remember we went to a drag race. You took, Mike, your dad, took me, you, and Logan.
Yeah.
And I think Michael. Anyway,
there's
but
bigger
I
every
remember
year
him-
for years. Me and Dad, from the time I was
Yeah.
literally like 5 or 6, we went to the Bristol drag race, the NHRA
Right.
national event. We went every year, and sometimes we bring people with us. But this was when we were in high school, right?
Right. Oh yeah, we were in high school, and we went to the Bristol drag race.
Yep.
And we might have just graduated. It might have been the summer after we graduated.
Could be.
Anyways, they were selling Bristol tickets for the circle track for, the big
the
cup
night
race.
race.
Yeah, the night race.
Yep.
And they were selling tickets, and your dad was talking about how you used to not be able to get one of those tickets.
Dad'll still say someone had to die.
And this was
for
10.
you to get a ticket.
This was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That he was talking about this. And you
think about the law that NASCAR was in 10 years.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I know, totally.
We're
But
just
I'm
now starting to go up.
You do hear about people who have been going to Bristol for decades at this point.
Yeah.
And a couple
I
decades.
love Bristol.
Oh, I do too.
I go to the Bristol
I do
Lights
too,
just
but
so I can drive
you
around
hear-
Bristol and stand in the infield and hear
And
Jackson
break my
gets to hear
car.
me say. Jackson gets to hear me say, "I love this place. I love this place." I just stand in the infield.
it's incredible.
And I just stare around at this massive unit of a place
Yeah.
and just go, "I love this place."
It's unreal.
Yeah,
I would love to be there when it is completely
completely
packed.
full. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
You
never
hear about
watched a
people
cup
talk
race
about
there.
it from years ago.
I've watched the trucks. My first ever NASCAR event was a Wednesday night truck race at Bristol, and this was probably in 2010 or 11.
Okay.
the first time I ever went to
sophomore,
an event.
Junior year,
Something
somewhere,
like that.
Sophomore year.
And it
something.
was life changing. Like
Yeah.
literally, I went and was so blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, that was other than like knowing about the industry because of my brother-in-law, I was just blown away.
Yeah.
Like it's Bristol, but I just don't think that happens on the West Coast. If
Yeah.
Bristol had been built out west, it would never have been
No.
Bristol. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. I agree.
So I don't know. I hope they don't. Fontana's such a good racetrack.
What I know. So what was the whole deal with them doing that, anyways?
What do you mean?
Why did it get bought out, and why is it being changed?
Because the property's worth a boatload of money.
Okay.
I mean, like billions.
Right. But it's still a racetrack.
It's gonna
There's-
be but
it's still gonna
they're
be a
selling a lot of the
I gotcha.
outsides of it
Okay.
to make it
That's
smaller, so that they can do more developing and things like that around
Gotcha.
the track.
Yep.
So
Well.
they've sold a big chunk of land. Is
Yeah.
how it works. I mean, it's always about money. It's just like
Oh, I know.
Myrtle Beach, where they get
Yeah.
sold bought out by a development.
Yeah.
What a shame! Like
Oh, I know.
super historic short track. Myrtle Beach is. They'll junior race there. I mean, everybody's raced there, right?
Yep.
And
And now it's
gone.
what, high rise.
It's nothing.
High,
I don't
hotels
even, I
or
think
something?
I think it's just a lot right now.
Yeah.
It's really
I
sad.
know it's very sad.
Like, and it happens in California all the time. Riverside's a
It
housing
happens
development
everywhere.
now.
And look at Asheville Motor
That's
Speedway.
true.
That's a heartbreak.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we can get into.
You can ride a
at some
bike
point.
around it now if you.
You can ride a bicycle around
you
it now.
take your
Yeah.
bicycles
Do you want me to
around
punch
it.
you in the face?
I don't think either one. None of us own a bicycle, right?
No.
And if we
I
did-
technically own one.
Yeah.
But it's like out back, and I haven't ridden it since I was in college
Oh, right.
because I had to get to class quickly.
I couldn't imagine being like, let's load up the bicycles and let's go turn a few laps around.
Amboy
Asheville.
Road. Let's go around
Yeah.
Amboy Road and
No,
No.
we need to get on that at some
we
point.
should
too, but
maybe.
that's
we should go. We should go to Amboy Road. Like I find it a little sacrilegious to go
Let's
there.
pack up
because
microphones
it's
right
because it's a bicycle track now.
You just want to go walk around the track and film the track.
I want to talk about it. I'd like to
You
get
take-
Dad.
you take
I'd
your
like to take
dad.
Dad with us
You
because
take
he
your dad,
saw.
yeah.
I mean, he got to saw
Yeah.
Jack Ingram and stuff drive there.
Oh, sure.
Jack Ingram, Jack Ingram he had a 55 Chevrolet, and
Yeah.
that's the reason why Dad loves 55 Chevrolet.
Oh, really?
Because he saw Jack Ingram drive a 55 Chevrolet at Amboy Road. Think about that.
Yeah.
Like think about the life that Dad has led because he was at a
Yeah,
race at Amboy Road and saw Jack Ingram in a 55
Yeah.
Chevrolet, and ever since the 80s, Dad's had
Yeah.
a 55 Chevrolet. We've got two of them now,
Right.
and it's like, yeah. Anyway,
Your
sorry.
dad grew up in an awesome time.
I can get
Yeah.
like way out there if I'm not careful.
Yeah, we'll have to do something on that.
But I think we should. Yeah, let's talk
Yeah.
about that. I'm gonna make a note here.
Yeah. Man, we're getting sidetracked just left
we
and
are.
right here.
It's okay.
No,
This is what we want to talk about. This is the stuff. Like I said, we want to talk about the big stuff, but we want to wind in the little stuff too. Did you see the restart crash at Fontana?
I did. Yeah, I watched the highlights.
Did you watch
I wanted
the highlights?
something
That
to
was
talk
the
about.
I
highlight.
told you to watch the highlights. 'cause
I got
you were,
home last
you were
night.
at dinner.
Race was over, and I wanted to.
I want to get Jackson's opinion on this. Someone who doesn't watch a lot of races all that much. Sorry, I hit your mic. Someone who doesn't watch that many races. Like, what did you think of when we looked up and we were like, what?
Well, restart crashes from all the small track stuff that we've been to in the last like 2-3 years with Eugene and everybody is restart crashes happen to those little small tracks all the time.
So yeah, somebody misses a gear. And
Yeah.
They pile up 4 behind him.
And so it restarted, and the big crash. I was like, oh well, okay. And then you watch the video, and homie just got plowed.
Did you see Christopher Bell's like the bumper cam?
I did.
Man, if his head's
popped
not
me.
hurting this morning,
And I saw the
solid.
in-car camera too. That's I think facing him.
looking back at
And
him.
yeah, man, it rattles him around several times.
Yes, I'm honestly a little concerned about it, like because you saw the concussions and stuff.
Well,
they supposedly made the cars
that's
better.
That's another big thing that they're talking about is how rigid these cars are. I don't
Super
know.
rigid.
I don't know enough about race cars to know, but you see them get hit hard. You see a lot of head movement.
Well, we saw
during these
three
crashes.
different concussions, like 3 drivers
yeah.
that went out with concussions
Sure.
last year, right? We had Kurt Busch, we had Alex Bowman.
And,
Reddick got out of the car at Martinsville. Remember?
Yeah, I
He
did.
got out of there. He got hit from behind, and then basically very similar to what happened to Christopher yesterday.
Yep, right.
And he had to get out of the car because his head was hurting him so bad.
Mhm.
So like that's some of what we're seeing. That's what the industry is seeing with these concussions and stuff. So I'm curious to see if something comes out of Christopher tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they
Is
make
he very
any sort of
vocal?
announcement.
I don't know much about him. I don't
He's
mind
pretty
him.
quiet. I don't know him personally.
That's what I was going to say. You don't hear a whole lot.
I think.
Pretty reserved.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty reserved, but he seems like a solid dude.
Oh
he's
yeah,
he's a wheelman.
No, I think so too.
He's a heck of a wheelman, especially like that dirt stuff, and he goes out there to the Chili Bowl and stuff.
Oh yeah,
he's a wheelman.
he is.
I hope literally as soon as they showed that bumper cam of Blaney running in the back of him, I was like, man. Like,
did it hurt the 12 very much?
Yeah,
it did.
It ruined his whole race. It caved the whole front end of the car.
Really?
It was a mess, and he was so slow.
And he hit him like he was sitting still.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he basically was. To be fair, by the time he had run into the guy in front of him, he was basically stopped, and Blaney was full throttle, probably about to pull third gear.
Who missed a shift? Was it Christopher?
I don't know how you can miss a shift with a sequential.
Well, they didn't miss a shift, so nobody missed a shift.
I think he was just sleeping on it a little bit.
No, from what I understand, or from what the commentators were saying and what it looked like, I think it was Joey and Denny on the front row. They were kind of jockeying a little, kind of deciding, and everybody else was kind of anticipating Joey launching earlier than he did, and so the whole thing accordion. But it took like 8 rows to actually make like really bad impact. Wow. So, yeah, I'm like Jackson said, like I'm kind of used to seeing these on the short tracks, but it's weird to see them on a NASCAR event like this.
Yeah, especially
anymore.
a place like Fontana.
And like Jackson said, especially with the sequential shifters, you don't miss shifts anymore.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's right. It looked a little odd. It was.
Yeah.
You know.
It was surprising.
Yeah, exactly.
When I saw the highlight reel, I was very surprised.
I was, because I remember, I think I might have been looking at my phone at that time, right? I'm looking and I look up and I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, we just started, like, because you know how it goes. But talking about restarts, the restarts there are amazing. The restarts are why I'm going to miss that track. Like, literally, they're coming 2 wide, 2 wide, 2 wide, green flag, 5 wide. And they just flare out like crazy. Can you imagine what that would feel like? Like no, I can't. And you get out, you go 5 wide, and one of you's all the way to the wall. One's literally on the apron.
Yeah, imagine being the guy sandwiched in between.
Austin Hill during the Xfinity race, he pushed it 3 wide on the restart like 2 or 3 times, and like just like made them let him get in the middle. And I was like, I mean, I understand making positions, but like I feel like it's a little dangerous to get in there, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're gonna tear something up more often than not being in the middle.
You would think.
I would think so.
And John Hunter Nemechek, did he win the Xfinity?
Yeah. So we can talk about the Xfinity race a little bit too. Quickly before we go there, Kyle Busch wins, right?
Oh, yeah.
19 consecutive seasons that guy's won a race.
You can't deny him. 3
different teams he's won it at Fontana with. Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, and now at RCR. This win for Kyle Busch, second race with RCR, second points race with RCR. How huge is this win?
It was pretty big, and to think that he possibly could have won the 500
He
as well.
He really should have won LA.
He was in a great position.
He could have won LA. He was super
that too.
fast in LA. He could have very well, if he hadn't got caught in the crash, could have definitely won the Daytona 500, and now has won Fontana.
Oh, it was big.
You give those guys, if they've got that much speed in the first 3 races at 3 completely different tracks, and you give them the whole season to get ready for the playoffs, like they are going to be dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think the 8 is going, I'm going to call it now. It's February 27th. The 8 wins the championship this year.
He's going to be in the mix.
I think he definitely wins the championship this year. I don't think he's going to be denied. You remember when he won his championship, he broke his foot at Daytona,
Oh, sure.
right?
Yep.
Had that crash and then came back.
In an
and it was like,
car,
as soon as he got back, it was like, this is Kyle Busch's year. And like, that's exactly the feeling I get right now with this.
Oh,
like, he's like, I went to the 8. Joe Gibbs has screwed me. I'm still sour about it. I'm going to win this championship. Like,
in a Lucas car, too. Like the Lucas car.
That looked good.
Pretty cool.
That looked really nice.
Yeah.
That was the first race with Lucas, with him in the Lucas car. That seems like that's probably a pretty promising relationship there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
man.
man.
I'd love to have Lucas sponsor something of mine.
Love him or hate him.
I love their products.
He's
one
good.
Of the best
He can
to
drive
do it,
anything.
I know if Eugene's watching this, he's like, yeah, he's the best.
Oh yeah, he likes Kyle.
He loves Kyle. Loves it.
Well,
I'm gonna put this
I was not unhappy to see him win. I'll say that much.
And so that was the other thing I thought was weird. He gets out of the car, goes to get the flag. There's like no one booing him.
Right.
Literally, basically overnight, Kyle Busch becomes a hero.
Think 10 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Think last year. He wins the race. He won that race at Bristol,
right.
and they were booing the heck out of him.
They were.
Literally, not even a whole year ago.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a note here. Kyle Busch wins the championship.
Man, I just remember him back, I guess that would be probably over 10 years ago with Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski. Heck, everyone, I guess. But, it was exciting. And Kevin Harvick. Oh, my goodness.
Kevin's last year.
Yeah, Kevin's last year.
Does Kevin win a race this year? Hold on. Does Kevin win a race this year? What's your opinion on it?
I don't know. I feel like he should. It's his last year. They're doing the whole farewell tour thing. I think he should. I think he should give it everything he's got.
Well, I mean, of course.
Go out with a.
It's Kevin Harvick. He's not going to give it.
Go out as hard as he can go out. But
yeah, for sure.
There's everybody was kind of just rocket ships yesterday. Nobody was running slow.
Yesterday was interesting. There was I don't know if they really talked about it in the highlights win, but like there was a lot of parity yesterday. Like the Chevys were fast because I think they finished 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we had the Trackhouse cars finish 3rd and 4th.
Right.
Chevys were fast, but the Fords were right there with them. Joey was fast. There was Toyotas up in the mix. Like I was expecting, and it's one race. Don't get me wrong. Like one not speedway race, right? I was expecting someone to come out of the gate and just tear it up. Which I mean, the 8 was right there. He basically run 1st, 2nd, 3rd all day. But there was a lot of teams kind of competing with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think we're gonna? Do either one of you think we're gonna get a team that just like breaks out and wins 8 races like Kevin Harvick did or Denny did?
I don't know.
A couple years
Hard
ago?
to say this early on. I don't know. How'd the Stewart-Haas cars run?
Pretty good. Kevin had a shot. Kevin had a shot there. He was in the mix. I mean, the 14 was fast. The rest, how the rest of those.
I don't know the answer to that. It's so early, and I've only been able to watch.
But what do you tell me your opinion? Win? Are we gonna have somebody win 8 races?
A
this
breakout team?
We're gonna have a breakout team or person. In this car, is it possible for someone to go and win 8 races now?
Why would it not be? I think it'd be possible, yeah.
I mean,
I don't think it's going to happen.
Don't make me question
I think someone's going to win 5 races.
5 races.
Could someone win 8 races? Sure. I think so.
Someone wins.
Someone's going to win 5 races. We're going to write it down. Who is it? I don't know. I have no clue.
If you
JJ Yaley.
JJ. I quit. No, I'm just kidding.
If I had to guess,
Yeah. Who do you think wins 5 races this year?
well, Joey Logano could do it.
Okay.
Kyle Busch could do it.
I wish could definitely do it. That's who I was gonna say.
Those are going to be my 2 picks. I don't know if anyone else is going to win 5 races, but those 2
You
guys
think,
will.
Jackson, who do you think could win 5 races this year? Just in the little bit that you've watched NASCAR, do you think there's somebody out there that you've seen that you say that dude could do it?
No, I'm kind of with Wynn.
You will win, Joey and Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson could.
I mean,
I think he's going to win several.
What's been up with Larson?
I don't know.
Larson's fast. I mean, Larson. Don't get me wrong. Larson's always fast. What, he won 2 or 3 races last year, right? 3 or 4. But like, he had that tear and won the championship when he came back after his deal, and then he comes back, he wins the championship, and then like, I don't know. It's just like last year, I felt like he was in the mix, but
Yeah, you're right.
it was like quietly in the
Didn't
mix.
dominate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he didn't go out and dominate. He wasn't like for sure gonna be I mean, he didn't make it to the championship 4. So like, what's the deal? You think? Like, why this sudden drop off? I mean, it's still he's one of the best out there, period. But
I don't know.
I have no clue.
What do you think, Jackson?
I don't think
You're gonna have to talk more, Jackson. I'm trying to pick your opinions out of you. What is wrong with Kyle? Tell me what. All right, psychiatrist. What is wrong with Kyle Larson? We say wrong with Kyle Larson like he's not
still-
like he's he
He's still
didn't
top
almost win a
5.
championship. Probably runs top 5, won 4 or 5 races. Won no telling how many dirt races last year. You know. Oh, also, and by the way, I had this note here I was going to talk about IndyCar later, but he's also going to run the 500 in 2024.
Right.
The Indy 500. How do you think he does in Indy?
Oh man, no idea.
Come on, you have to have some idea. Is he going to be in the middle, or is he going to be
man.
competing for a win?
He'll be in the middle.
Think he'll be somewhere in the middle.
He's not going to compete for a win. I don't think.
Take a guy like Kyle Larson. You dump him in a car a style of car that he's never been in. Does he run in the middle, or does he run up front, Jackson?
I don't know. I wouldn't think he ran in the back. I think he's better than to run in the back. I think he'd be in the middle.
Well, he's going to be in an Aero McLaren car.
I was going.
So
I was
he's going to be in
say,
good
who's he
equipment.
gonna, okay.
Yeah.
I still say, I think realistic. Middle of the pack would be an accomplishment.
There's
I think.
33 cars that start the 500.
Yeah,
So
I'd
you
say
think
he's
probably
probably.
at 15th?
I think he's going to be in the 15th, 20th, somewhere around there.
Man, if we're doing this a year from now,
Maybe a little bit better.
I think he runs top 5.
Really?
I think he runs top 5.
Top 5.
I really think so. That's how good I think
That would be
is.
crazy cool.
Yeah,
There's,
I mean, I don't know if
there's
he
a
finishes top
tremendous
5.
difference between those 2 cars.
For sure.
And I mean, obviously he's going to practice. It's not like he's jumping in totally green, but
Yep. But with
that's
him
still a
running
lot-
the
a
500,
huge
that means
adjustment.
that he's also going to get out of the car and fly to Charlotte and run
Exactly,
the 600 that
yeah.
night. He's going to run the double.
Yeah.
So as soon as he gets out of the 500, he's literally going to go jump on a helicopter, an airplane, or whatever, and fly to Charlotte, and then get in a cup car and run 600 more miles. That's insane.
that just sounds
It's crazy.
exhausting to me.
See, so I'm
Well,
going to
yeah, but
say.
you're not
totally
an insanely
exhausting.
fit,
Yeah,
amazing
yeah,
race
no,
car
yeah.
driver who's getting paid millions of dollars to do it.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Huge accomplishment would be top 10. I think realistically, probably about 15th. But I would love to see him run in the top 5. I think it'd be freaking cool.
That would be really cool. I think, I don't know if he finishes top 5.
Right?
I think he's in the mix in the top 5 throughout the race. I'm with you. I think he probably gets a top 10. I think a top 10 for him is going to be a really, really good day. Just
Sure
because
would
those cars are hard. I mean, we saw Jimmy Johnson's 500 last
Oh,
year
yeah.
for the first time, and he struggled. I mean, like,
did.
he was good. Don't get me wrong. Again, this is coming from a guy who's literally never sat in a race car forever, and I'm telling you, like, he was good or bad. But, like, statistically looking at it, he was pretty good, but he still struggled. They got into the wall in qualifying and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Larson's a little, I mean, he's more in it, I guess, but I think a really good day will be 10th for him in the 500.
I think that would be an incredible day.
Yeah. Okay. So, if we could, you should watch the highlights. I want to do this each week for each race, and then I'm going to kind of take an average as we go along.
Okay.
How would you rate, out of 10, how would you rate the race yesterday?
Jackson, you're going to have to answer that first, so I have something to go off.
Spin it around here.
It's actually really good. I'm glad you said that.
1 to 10 on what metric?
Was it a good race?
I thought it was a pretty good race.
Okay,
It was a
give me a
good race.
number.
The first
1
half,
to
the
10.
first half of the race kind of anticlimactic. Wasn't a lot. They were just more or less as dumb as it sounds
Turning
to say,
laps.
turning laps.
Yeah.
They're just driving in circles. But they started race in the second half.
That's true. But, I mean, there was still some pretty good side-by-side racing throughout. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't... I didn't feel like there was anybody... I mean, Kyle won by like 3 or 4 seconds, which is... I mean, nowadays, that's a pretty good little margin.
Yeah,
you know?
that's out there.
So, 1 to 10. And like I said, I'm glad you started with Jackson because he gives us a good baseline. If you were not with me watching this race, would you have turned it off?
No, I'd left it play. I might have been on my phone, but it has still been playing in the background.
Okay, all right.
Maybe
that's how we should rate these. Would I have turned it off? Would I watched it with my phone on, or would I have put my phone in a desk drawer? Like that's how good it was.
Well, it was. This one would have been a phone and glancing, like you're.
Okay, so you weren't like
you're still replying to text, but you're bobbing up and down.
So if that's our 4,
it's probably a 7.
if we have an out of 4 metric, we have turned it off, turn off. Write these down so I don't forget them. Let's see here. We'll do 1 step above turning off. You were watching but texting. Watching but texting.
Texting and glancing.
Glancing.
Okay, texting.
Glancing.
Texting glance. And then we'll have phone in pocket.
Yep.
And then I'm going to put, for the 4th pick, it'll be what's a phone.
What's a phone?
There we go. All right, Jackson. On that metric, you turned it off, texting glance, phone in pocket, what's a phone, you rate it as texting glance.
Yeah, I'd say it's a texting glance.
From what I saw of the highlights, it looked like a texting glance to me. And I read a lot of comments. I always do that with the highlights. And, I mean, it seemed like a good race from what I read. Because I didn't watch the full race.
I'm a little nostalgic just because I know it's the last Fontana race. Yeah. And I think that track, now that it's aged really well, is just super cool. You've got those 5 lanes of racing. I'm really sad to see it go.
Yeah.
I know everyone says this, but it's like, why couldn't we get rid of Texas and do it with Texas
or
something like that? I mean, they want it in that market. I mean, period. That's what they want. They want a short track, or they want something different in that market. We'll just take the money out of that equation completely because it's really about money. But they want that in that market, so we can't do it to Texas because Texas kind of sucks now.
It does.
I'm with you. I would still. I'm gonna say texting glance also, just because that's kind of what I was doing. I was also trying to prepare for this a little bit too, so I'm a little biased. I was on
the other couch, so I know that Jake was still like on his phone and would just look up.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, it was because I was trying to take notes for today, so that I was prepared. See, I did take these notes. For anyone that was watching, I was a little prepared.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
It seemed like a pretty good race.
It was good.
And it was pretty cool that Kyle won. And I read up that Kyle...
We are 43 minutes in.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Kyle went to
How many points
Fontana.
did we clear so far?
We're through the NASCAR after this, as soon as this goes.
Oh, okay. Well,
He went to Fontana as a 16-year-old.
Isn't that crazy?
And he was not able to drive because the car was sponsored by Marlboro.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, that is super interesting. Don't you miss those like old Marlboro Winston days?
Totally.
Like, those paint schemes are so cool.
I wouldn't mind doing that for the Renegade.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Marlboro paint scheme. You have to make sure you're not going to get sued first.
I know.
Well, just
I'll
do the
spell
colors.
it differently.
Yeah, do the colors.
Mall ball.
Okay. We'll quickly talk about the Xfinity race because, like I said, we are a pretty good ways into this. I didn't know.
I didn't pay any attention to it virtually at all. Like, it was going, but I was at that point on my phone.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing. It was the same way. It was a good race in general. The racing was it was clean. John Hunter wins. I'm no John Hunter fan. I mean, I'm not a Toyota fan. Somehow those guys find such pricks to drive their race cars. And they have for years. And I just never have I've never been a Toyota fan. My brother-in-law, if he's watching this, is literally laughing. Like, if he watches this, he's like, Jake's always been this way. He's always giving me crap about it. I'm just not a Toyota guy. I don't know. Like I said, I don't like John Hunter. I don't like Ty Gibbs. I'm not a big fan of most of the Toyota drivers right now. I'm glad Kyle's in a Chevrolet because I can root for him because he's
Yeah.
a heck of a wheelman, but I didn't like him being in a Toyota.
Yeah, I was the same way.
I'm really happy he's in a Chevrolet now.
Yeah,
So,
back in a Chevrolet.
yeah, back in. That's true. Yeah, back in. That's right. He was in Hendrick first.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about that. You kind of
Oh,
forget about
sure.
those Hendrick days. I'm sure. I bet he doesn't.
Oh yeah, that
Got fired from the
number
biggest
5
team.
K-Logs. Yeah, replaced by Dale Jr.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about. We'll definitely have to make this more concise next time because,
Okay.
like I said, we were a pretty good little ways in here. I wasn't expecting that. F1 testing was this week. Did you guys look at anything about
A little bit.
it?
Just read about it a little bit.
A little bit.
Yep.
So F1, they start sometime in March, so not too long. I think they're probably maybe another 3 or 4 weeks out from starting. I need to look at the official start date. Will Buxton, who is he's a reporter for Formula One, does TV and commentary and stuff like that. He said, and I read a tweet thread. I kind of kept up with it a little bit since they were running through the middle of the day. I couldn't really watch it, but I was kind of keeping up with it a little on Twitter and things like that. Buxton did a thread at the end of the testing of the 3 days, and he ranked the teams on kind of where he thought they were going to run, and he described Red Bull as godlike. I mean, last year was an incredible performance, but like, how good do you have to be at testing for someone to describe you as godlike? That's a...
Well, we know they're not
dumbfounded by this as me.
They're not going to say that about Haas.
He ranked the teams. So this is like lower pack. This is mid pack. This is like upper mid pack. And he was like, here's like top teams. And then Red Bull was by themselves. So you just said godlike. I was like dumbfounded. Like how good is that going to be? Like, is it going to be a good season? You're going to watch all the races
I'll watch
probably,
them all,
most
probably,
likely,
yeah.
most of them.
I'm going
Are
to do
you
my
gonna try and
best.
watch
Oh
them?
yeah.
So I've been watching them for a few years. My old roommate Seth, he got me into Formula One while we were in college, and it was a lot harder to watch it back then. But now ESPN does such a good job. You can watch literally everything they do, every practice, every qualifying, everything. So that's a good thing. But like, is Red Bull going to turn into Mercedes? Do we think that they're going to go on like a 5, 6, 7, 8 year consecutive
Red
championship run?
Bull last year was, I think, significantly better than Mercedes, and their wins reflected that.
Oh, of course. No, the Mercedes
Red
last
Bull,
year was
Ferrari,
Yeah.
were just insane.
Yeah, the Red Bull last year. I mean, so I'll talk about this a little bit, kind of in conjunction with testing. Drive to Survive came out this week. That's the Netflix show where they go and they follow the Formula One teams throughout the whole season. That was on there, and like they had to focus on like the drama of driver changes because they don't say this, but really it's because Red Bull was so dominant and they won so many races last year that they couldn't even come up with good drama, that they literally had to talk about who was going to this team and who was swapping seats in silly season and blah, 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 blah. And that was the majority of it. I've watched all but 2 episodes, I think, and that was the majority of it. So, like, is it going to be like that again this year, you think?
I still have Red Bull and Ferrari in the top.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Just-
I would agree with that.
At one point last year, they just swapped win for win.
At the very beginning.
Yeah.
At the very, very, like
Yeah.
the first
And then
3
it was
races.
all Red Bull.
That was-
And
and
Red
it
Bull-
was all
Red Bull came in.
Like the first 4 races.
Powerful.
I think
Yeah.
the first 2 races, Max had issues. He blew up or broke. And everybody was like, oh no, the Red Bull's not going to have reliability. And then literally the next 2 races, the Ferraris broke. And then after that, it was just Red Bull. I mean, full on.
Yeah.
Max is... How good is Max Verstappen?
Max is driving with everything that he's got to drive with.
I feel like Max gets a bad rep. Even my brother-in-law, he's like, oh, Max seems like such a jerk.
I like Max.
But Max is literally, to me, is... you know, in like horse race, you got thoroughbreds, right?
Yeah.
Thoroughbred racehorses. Max Verstappen was born and raised to be a racing driver. He's a thoroughbred racing driver, to me. Like, if there was anybody out there that I was going to be like, I want stock in that, it's Max Verstappen. Like, he's that good, I think.
Oh yeah.
I mean, clearly he's beat Lewis 2 seasons now. So I know everyone says that Lewis
Didn't even win a race last year,
No,
did he?
he did
Did he
not.
win
No.
a race the year before?
Yes. So the year before was the year the whole... It came down, they were tied on points in the last race, and it was a big mess, the Abu Dhabi thing.
I remember.
It was
Yeah,
a
I
big
remember
mess.
that.
Yeah, and they let Max through past some lap cars, they let some lap
Yeah.
cars clear themselves. It was
Yep.
it was a bit of a mess. So Max, but they were. Lewis won a bunch of races that year. I think him and Max were Max won one more race than him. It was the last race. And so, yeah. I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Ferrari figures something out. Like, I think they're going to be in the mix this year. I think they're going to make it more competitive than last
Ferrari's fast last year.
They were fast, but their strategy was garbage, and we don't really have to go into that on this, honestly, just because everyone's talking about that. Like, their strategy was so frustrating. They'd call guys into the pits, and they weren't ready for them, and it was ugly. It was painful to watch at times, because I want to see Ferrari do good. So, like, that, I'm a weird racing fan. I don't know about you guys. I'm weird because I don't have, like, a favorite driver. Or, I mean, I have some that I, like, root for a little more than others. I just want to see a good race. Mm-hmm. Period. I don't really care. Like, I might be rooting for somebody a little bit more than others, but I'm like, if I leave and the guy didn't win, but it was a good race, I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm more that way now.
Yes.
Growing up, I had my drivers that I really pulled for.
Who was
now,
your driver growing up?
Ryan Newman, because a good buddy of mine back in 5th grade wrote Ryan Newman, and Ryan Newman had us down to Penske, and we got to meet him.
Oh, you've told me.
So that's kind of how I got
into racing.
Yeah, a little bit. My grandfather always liked Sebring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I got to meet Newman, so I was a big Newman fan.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so I pulled for Newman. But now I'm the same way as you are now. I'm much more into seeing just a good race. I'm not really cool for one or two guys in general.
The Penske guys I've always leaned toward the Penske guys. Dad gets on me because they're Ford guys, but
yeah.
There's a reason they're Ford guys. Roger Penske's not a dummy. Clearly, there's a reason they're Ford guys, and I like their drivers. I know most people hate Logano. I think Logano's an excellent race car driver. I mean, just
very good. He was one of my picks to win.
Yep, to win 5 races.
Of races, yeah.
So
not a huge Joey fan. I just know he can do it.
Yeah, he can do it because he's going to strap in. He doesn't really care who's in front of him.
Yep.
It's a good thing to me. But anyway, what was? Do you remember, like, did you have a favorite growing up at all? Like, did you watch racing at all? I know your dad watched it.
Dad did, and I don't know, it might have been Dale Jr.
Probably.
Might have been Dad's pick growing up.
I can definitely see your dad being a big Dale Jr.
I
feel like he went from Dale Earnhardt to Dale Jr. And then now that Dale Jr.'s retired, he's got Chase.
Yeah,
he's a big Chase fan.
Chase, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember really watching a race. I would go up to my aunt's, and she always watched the races just like they do now, unless whoever she's pulling for starts losing, she just turns it off, just automatically. She's like, no. And she was a big Tony Stewart fan.
Really?
Yeah. I thought she didn't like Tony.
No, she loved Tony Stewart.
Fan. Okay.
She loved Tony Stewart.
Okay.
She had Tony Stewart license plate. She loved Tony Stewart.
Wow.
Tony Stewart's a bomb.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, personally, I don't know how you don't like Tony Stewart. These are awesome.
Oh, he's hilarious, and he can drive, so...
One of my absolute all-time favorite memories of NASCAR is that time that he got out at Talladega after getting wrecked. And he just goes on this, 5-minute rant to the reporter about how, no, it wasn't a good race. Yeah. We should have tore up more cars.
If half the cars are running, we haven't done our job.
If we haven't done our jobs, we need to... Next year, I think, at the halfway point, half the cars should go one direction, half should go the other direction. I just love that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Emily said, when I showed her that interview like a year ago, and she said, that would be you if you were a race car driver.
I think so, too.
I
think so,
I would definitely be a smart aleck crazy.
I think so.
Well... I mean, that was the points that I had.
Flew by.
Really, really flew by.
This was a lot of fun.
Well, you wouldn't be sub-hour, so you are cutting it pretty close.
I mean, I'm okay with it. This is all fun.
If it was too long, someone will tell us it was too long.
I hope so. So, definitely. I mean, y'all give your opinions on some of this stuff that we're talking about, too. I'm really interested. Like I said, I want to really grow this and try and get people's opinions on some certain things as we go forward. As we go along, we're going to kind of get into a little bit more of a routine. We're going to build some more normal talking points, I would say, for each week. Yep. And like I said, I really want to start having some people come on as we get a little bit more better. We want to make sure everything is running smoothly, and then maybe we can have some people come in and give their opinions too. Yeah. So that's kind of our dream for this. But for now, I think this is what we're going to do. We'll kind of shut it off for today. tell us what you guys thought about the race. Let us know about Fontana. Let us know about Vegas. Oh, do we want to do some picks for Vegas?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's do that.
Yep.
So let's do it before we go. So I know that was a little
Vegas.
premature. Let's talk about Vegas.
Kyle Busch is from
Hold
Vegas.
on. Jackson gets to go first. He's our resident non-expert.
I don't know who's going to win.
Well, that does not helpful.
Top 3. I could see Chastain maybe up there.
Ooh, good pick.
Right on.
All right,
Because
that's your pick. No. That's your pick. I'm
We're
just
not
giving you
doing
that.
3. Okay,
We're not doing 3.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Ross.
But yeah, Chastain
right.
up there then.
That's a super good pick. I feel like they were definitely overlooked because of the Kyle Busch story. Trackhouse 3rd and 4th yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Saw
big.
that.
That's really, really big.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are still fast from last year.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yes,
Ross Chastain, that is a super good
yesterday
pick,
he was
man.
leading for a while.
For a while, he was the guy that
he
Kyle
had
ended
clean
up having
air
to.
and he was just going.
Yeah, no, he was the guy that Kyle was had to pass and to win the race basically.
Yeah, good pick.
That's a really good pick. All right, Vegas. What do you think?
I'm not choosing Kyle.
Last year Bowman
even
won the first race. Joey won the second race.
I'm
just
not-
so you guys know. I should.
No to Bowman.
Ross is a great
no.
pick.
I'm gonna have a wild card here.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna
Alright.
keep score on this, like who has-
Blaney. I'm going with Blaney.
That's not a wild card.
Yeah, it is.
Blaney's great.
He's very good.
He was really. I think if I remember right, Blaney should have won that first Vegas race
Did he?
last year.
I don't
He
remember
did.
that.
He ended up not. I think
That's
they had a
my
pit road
pick.
issue or something. But he was super fast.
Ryan Blaney's my pick.
That's a really good pick.
Really? You think
I
so?
think it's a great pick. He hasn't won a race in this car, which I think is super weird.
Yeah.
But I think Blaney's the pick. That's really good. Why
I didn't
can't
think
spell
so.
His name? Wow. I'm glad you guys can't see this notebook. It's a scribbled mess. My pick for Vegas. Kyle won last week. I think the 8 has big speed here again. At Vegas, honestly, I'm not gonna pick him. Let's see here. I'm going with Chase. I think Chase shows up. I think Chase is gonna win one early this year and then go kind of quiet. Your dad will be very happy if Chase wins. I think he wins one. He goes kind of quiet. They build up and they hit the playoffs really hard this year. That's just what I think. And he's in a
Wouldn't surprise
Chevy.
me.
And
Yeah.
actually, we have 2 of the 3 of us in Chevys, so I'm gonna say Chase. I think it's a pretty good pick there. Let's see. I think you've got the best pick, honestly.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah, I think.
You really think so?
I think Blaney's gonna show up. Joey was fast yesterday, and if he hadn't Blaney got out of track position and got messed up in that wrecker, he would have been fast too. I think.
Well, so what happens? What do we get if we win?
What do we get? I don't know.
Bragging
Swift
rights, I guess.
Pat on the back.
Yeah,
we'll make a
that's
trophy.
Cool. I could use that.
We'll make a trophy.
Yeah.
We'll figure something.
JoJo
out.
has a 3D printer.
Just weld.
Does he?
we can
So
make-
does-
We can just
does
weld
Austin.
some random stacks of rebar together and be like, here's a trophy.
No. I'll think of something. So, all right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining Shift Points, the podcast. We'll be back next week. Give us some feedback. Is there something we talked about more than you wanted to hear, or anything like that? Put it in the comments. Like I said, I'm hoping to have this on Spotify, but it's definitely for sure going to be on YouTube. Hopefully by tomorrow. So let us know what you think. If you like it, hey. If you're from Madison County and you want to be on the show, let us know that.
Oh, yeah.
We might
That's
just bring
cool.
in some
Yeah.
random people. I have a couple people in mind that I don't know if they would be interested, but that are kind of just random guys that I think would be like to be on it. So I don't know. So let's do that. And thanks for joining us. Follow Shift Points on Instagram and Facebook. You guys will see more of them as we go along, I'm sure. And make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, or to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll put the subscribe button at the end of this video, so if you like it, stick with us, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Talk to you guys later. Anything you want to say? You don't have a catchphrase?
Oh man, you should have told us that before so we could
Oh,
come up with something.
Okay, next episode.
That's a small block.
Next episode, we'll have a catchphrase, and then I'm gonna have the channel catchphrase, which is Shift Points. Never miss a gear. Oh man, isn't that terrible? Isn't it so corny? Like, I love how corny it is.
I like mine better.
What? It's a small block.
That's a small block.
It is
Yeah,
a small block.
it is a small block.
I'll come up with one for next time.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thanks everyone.